Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is the 13th day of January, 2020. Hope everybody had a very nice Christmas and a Happy New Year and ready for an exciting 2020. All right. First on the agenda is a public hearing on ordinance number 1531, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee, as set forth in the Tullahoma Municipal Code, which is ordinance number 1392, to rezone two parcels addresses 412 North Jackson Street and 107 West Hogan Street from C1 Central Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District. So let me ask Ms. Moody or Mr. Lawson to step forward and just tell us a little bit about these properties, please.
Okay, Mr. Lawson, could you do?
Sure.
The application is to rezone two lots on West Hogan Street, one that's on the corner of North Jackson, which is 412 North Jackson Street, and 107 West Hogan Street from C1 to C2 to allow expansion of a minor automobile repair use, which is Lightning Lube. The Planning Commission heard the case or the request and gave it a favorable recommendation on November the 18th, 2019. And staff also gives it a favorable recommendation.
Okay. Very good. Anyone in the audience have anything to address on this particular issue? Mr. Denby, if you would state your name and your address, please, sir.
I'm Joe Denby, live at 3523 Awalt Road, Tullahoma, Tennessee. And I own one of the lots at 107 Hogan Street, and I'm actually building a building there to let Chris Sells rent it so he can continue his, grow his business. Yeah. But I want to make sure that, from my understanding, with the rezoning of it, that the setbacks remain the same. That they, I was told by Lee that the setbacks were grandfathered in, and we could change the zoning, but still leave the setbacks the same, so that the building would fit on the lot.
I can't answer that question, but let me ask Ms. Moody or Mr. Lawson if they would address the question.
Okay.
Let me ask you to step to the podium, please, sir.
The Planning Commission approved the site plan back on, I believe it was back in March of 2019, and it's got a, per the vested property rights law of Tennessee, they have 1 year from the time they get approval to start building on the structure. So as long as they pull a building permit before March, then they should be able to build a building that was approved by the Planning Commission.
Good. Thank you.
Can I get that in writing?
No, I just wanted to get
Can he give that to me? Well, I mean, can he give me a letter stating that? Not tonight, but I know, but. Okay.
Yeah.
Want to make sure that.
Sure. Yep. Good. Thank you. Any other questions around the public hearing? All right. Seeing none, we will conclude the public hearing and go to the regular morning meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The first is the roll call.
Yes.
Ms. Golden.
Mayor Hurley.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Blanks.
Here.
Alderperson Berry.
Here.
Blackwell. Here. Dunn. Here. Noes.
Here.
Mathis.
Here.
7 present.
Well, we have a quorum, so we're ready to proceed. Very pleased that Reverend Ricky Wade is with us this evening. Ask Mr. Wade if he would to step to the podium and offer our invocation. Ask everyone to please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Reverend Wade. Welcome.
Thank you. Let us pray. Loving God, we give you thanks for our community, and we thank you for this new year. We ask your watch care and your guidance over our mayor, over the Board of Aldermen, over all of our first responders in our community as we enter this new year. We ask and pray that your blessings would be upon us, that this might be a productive year, that we might move forward into your favor. All of this we lift up and pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Wade. Appreciate you being with us as always. Thank you. So, you see we have a new honorary alderman. I'm very pleased to introduce Mr. Kobe Rowe. Mr. Rowe is a senior at Tullahoma High School and is a very impressive young man. He is the salutatorian of his class. He has a GPA of 4.6. His current classes include AP Calculus, AP Literature, AP Computer Science, and Honors Physics. He's very active in FBLA. He's attended numerous math contests. He's he's a delegate to American Legion Boy State. He's involved in the leadership of Mu Alpha Theta. He's on the swim team. He's a member of the National Honor Society. He's a Science Olympiad competitor. He is the treasurer of the Mayor's Youth Council. He's a student council member. He's active in Hands-On Science Center, etc. And he also works at his family's business every day. Touchdown Wings. So I'm very pleased to introduce to you Mr. Kobe Rowe. Kobe, anything else that you'd like to add, please?
I think you got it all.
But in addition, he's a very, very humble young man. Tell the group what your plans are after high school graduation.
I plan to attend Vanderbilt University next year.
And do you have a major selected yet?
I'm going to do either biomedical or chemical engineering.
Very good. Well, welcome. We appreciate you being here tonight, and hopefully it's a good experience for you. If you would stand there at your desk, we'll present you with a certificate recognizing you as the honorary alderman. Congratulations. Now, Mrs. Moody also has a presentation to make. So you're recognized. Thank you.
As we do every month, I'm here to recognize some employees of the month for their work. And tonight is special to me because we are recognizing our finance director, Sue Wilson, and her assistant, our accounting manager, Donna Graham, in the back. And while I would say it certainly takes a team to run the city's finances, I believe tonight that these two are due for some individual and specific recognition for their many years of excellent financial stewardship and leadership of our finance department. I feel like when a city's been so good for so long, it's easy to underappreciate the work and the value that's added by these two, and that in making sure that the city's funds are properly accounted for and transparently reported in a timely manner. With Sue Wilson's 18 years of service and Donna's 15 years of service, the city's enjoyed the benefits of numerous clean audits. Most recently, we were visited by TDOT. They audited 3 grant programs at Public Works and 4 at the airport. No findings on any of them. That is not without a lot of effort. And then we have maintained a AA2 bond rating from Moody's. If you don't know, that's the second best rating on a scale of 16. And I'm sure one of a few in the state to have that. We earn year after year recognition for our excellence in both our financial reporting and our budget presentation. And I have the documents for this year. Again, we've gotten our 18th award for a distinguished budget presentation and our 22nd year award for our excellence in financial reporting. And that is due, and their names are mentioned specifically by the Government Finance Officers Association in both of those letters, letting us know that it's not by accident and it's after a lot of hard work that for from both of them. And then I would say that their efforts most days can be seen as supporting players to the many services that the city provides. But it's not without their hard work and diligence, and especially diligence for the details, that we continue to grow the city's capacity and our reputation. Sue and Donna are humble leaders. They do not ask for thanks or recognition. They're always willing to praise their team over themselves. But I think this month we should honor them. So thank you to each of you for making our city strong financially, being excellent stewards of the public's money, and making us deserving of their continued trust. So thank you. Now I'm going to notice them because, like I said, they do not ask for recognition. But if you would like to say a few words, this is for you. Thank you. Thank you. Would you like to say something?
I would say.
Thank you, Ms. Liberty. I really appreciate this, Mayor and Board. I think really, Jennifer said it all. It does take a team. It takes the internal team in the finance department, but it takes all the department heads and the people that we have that work together every day and who take pride in their work and who care about how things get done and making sure it's done right. And there's a legacy here, and I hope it keeps going. I'm sure it will.
Ms. Wilson, is there anyone in the audience you would like to recognize as well?
My husband Ted is here. he doesn't usually come.
That's what I meant.
And
My husband Kerry, he's here.
Yep.
And I'd also like to say that Donna is amazing to work with. She started out doing payroll, and she has gone from payroll to accounting manager because she continuously asks for, what can I do to help? What more can I do? And she does it.
I
So
just really enjoy working here at the city, and they've been so good to me, and they've let me learn and everything. And I always remember a thing my mom told me long ago. You need to learn one new thing every day. If you're not, you're backing up. So the city's giving me that opportunity to learn one new thing every day.
Great advice.
Well, thank you both, and if you will join me, let's take a picture.
Put your lap. Wake the mayor up.
Oh, and then we have one more special presentation tonight. We happen to be in the midst, we believe, of a world record holder. And so if you would allow us, we
Sure.
would like to take the official measurements of firefighter Brandon Barrage and see if he is in fact the world's tallest firefighter.
Mr. Barris, do you mind getting measured in public?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Moody. We'd like to let you know, in April of last year, we noticed that we probably had the tallest fire pup in the world. He came in this room and visited with y'all. After that comment, Brandon sent off to the Guinness Book of World Records questioning that. And they just now sent him back the paperwork and said, you fill this out, you're the man. So we have been measuring today around Tullahoma. Dr. Blanks has been gracious enough to measure him twice. It has to be videoed, it has to be documented, it has to be by a doctor. So we asked Dr. Blanks if he would do that. So the first measurement we're going to take is the vertical measurement, and we're going to use that wall over there. And we're going to, of course, Dr. Blanks will have to stand on something so he can reach Brandon. Brandon's a firefighter with the city fire department. He has his wife Rachel here with him to witness this.
So are we getting the appropriate video as well?
We are getting video as well as the
Okay.
news coverage is covering us from the back. Actually, Channel 4 was down today interviewing Brandon, and we had a great time with him today as well. There was a story aired at 5:15 today on Channel 4 with Terry Bolger, so if you go back and watch that, it's pretty
pretty interested.
You did. You stretched out this afternoon. You got 80, 83, and a 4, or nearly a 4. How precise do we need to be? Super precise. 83 and 3/16.
83 and 3/16 vertical for the third measurement. And now we'll do the horizontal measurement, which we're going to do on the floor right here.
Oh, wow. Just so he's 20 inches tall.
They make a perfect pair.
Yeah.
He also demonstrated today for Channel 4 how even as tall as he is, he has to fit through the same confined spaces as a person like me, and he demonstrated that in an excellent way through one of our training apparatuses and did it perfectly. And I had that on video. It was awesome.
That's going to be 83 and, let's see,
It goes out.
9/16.
83 and 9/16 on the horizontal measurement, third time.
Yeah.
The City of Tullahoma Board.
It goes
That's such a
out.
discrepancy.
Half an inch.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna document that in writing. Dr. Blanks has got to show us his credentials and write a brief letter about what we did today, and then I'll have to provide on letterhead that he is actually a career firefighter in the City of Tullahoma, and he will send that in, and hopefully as soon as we know something, we'll be back to let you know the final result. I think he's got it by about 5 inches. I think we're pretty safe.
So we're something short of 7 feet, tiny bit short of 7 feet.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you.
Thank you. While you have the podium, let me ask you to step to the podium. That's something I need to make you aware of.
Okay.
I have permission to read this. You and I both have the belief living in a town like Tullahoma is a blessing. I would like to share an event that illustrates why Tullahoma is special. My youngest daughter, Emily Ann, was recently pregnant with a third child. This was a difficult pregnancy requiring a hospital stay this past month. Fortunately, she gave birth last Friday to a healthy baby boy. Both mother and child are well enough. Our grandson will remain hospitalized another week or so. While Emily Ann was hospitalized, Emily and I kept Emily Ann's 3-year-old twin boys about a month. While they were with us, one of my responsibilities was to entertain the twins. One day I decided to take them, completely unannounced, to the fire station on Jackson Street. We were treated like royalty. Every fireman on duty greeted the boys. The twins took a tour of the firehouse, got to sit on 2 fire trucks, and given gifts that included hats, coloring books, crayons, and Frisbees. Chief Chastain, I did not get your permission to call your name, but Chief Chastain talked to the boys, and a picture was made of the chief and the twins in front of the Christmas tree. I greatly appreciate the treatment my grandsons were given. They have shared this experience with almost everyone willing to listen. Although they are quite young, I believe they will remember the trip to Tullahoma Firehouse and the kindness they were shown. Signed, Brack Toma. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, the floor is now open for any comments. Anyone in the audience is not later on the agenda. Seeing none, we will proceed. We're ready for board reports. Mr. Mathis.
Thank you, Mayor. I do not have a report, but I have a concern. And this concern, I was at church and I came out and this lady and her husband was in front of me, and all of a sudden she stumbles and falls on the sidewalk. So I was standing there and I looked, and sure enough, the sidewalk was up like this. So she tripped over it. So I said, while I'm doing this, I think I'll just walk all the way up to the end, up next to here, the city hall. Every step is in disarray. If we need anything, we need a sidewalk out here in front of this city hall all the way down. Bad.
I agree.
It's really an eyesore, and it shouldn't be. And then what makes it even worse is, it's in front of City Hall, and we're just leaving it there. It's not good. That's all I have.
Thank you. The challenge is that the 7 of us do not appropriate enough money each year to take care of damaged sidewalks like that. So it's our responsibility. So hopefully this next budget cycle, we will take all that into consideration and do the right thing and appropriate more money. I hope you agree with that, and I appreciate you calling it attention. Mr. Berry.
A couple of things, Mr. Mayor. One, I think the fire department's kind of set the standard for a pretty report here. Thank you for that. Since last met with the Consolidated Communications Committee, we approved to use the annex building for kind of the new, it's not a task force, but it's a special investigations unit, which is doing some great work. Also approved we didn't, but the 911 board approved a new Ford Explorer. We authorized use. Now is also a good time, I read because we've got it on the agenda tonight, a good time to remind people to get out and register to vote if they haven't done so yet. Elections are coming up. It's a big year, municipal, state, federal. Get out and do that. I spent some time, had some great conversations this week and last week with different churches and nonprofit organizations in the area on some of the work that they're doing and how we can kind of look to coordinate amongst themselves some different efforts and look at areas where left hands may not know what right hands are doing and just kind of help disseminate different information there. I also want to give another shout out to the fire department. Chief Chastain, I saw a post on his Facebook about the storms that we recently had, and our EMS kind of as a whole. They're out there in weather that none of us want to be in. They went out of their way, and thank you to the Manchester Fire Department for throwing their hat in the mix and helping us out. That is it, sir.
Very good, thank you. Ms. Blackwell.
Yeah, so it's been a month since we met, so it's a little bit longer than usual, but the city employee luncheon for the holidays was awesome. Got to go to that and I ate my heart out, but it was a fantastic event, so thank you for putting that on for the employees. It was amazing. We had a planning commission meeting. There's a couple things I think on the agenda tonight from that. I went to the chamber coffee, the holiday one as always. We had the planning and coordinating this past weekend, and I had office hours right before that. And to kind of caddy off of what Coach Alderman Mathis said, was what came up in them mostly from people when they came to meet with me and to have coffee essentially and tell me what they were concerned about was sidewalks along Cedar Lane and along Avoca and Kings Lane as well. So it's good that we're working on that. So I was able to tell them that we were, which is fantastic, and some of the work that we're doing. And then the other thing I was going to say is that this Saturday, this isn't really a local fundraiser because it's raising money for koalas that have been displaced and harmed in Australia. But there is a yoga fundraiser at the Tullahoma Art Center, which I actually am going to say this. I hate yoga, but I'm going to go and do it to raise money for that. And so if anybody would like to attend, the information's on my Facebook page, and it's also out there on the Art Center page. So, yes, I hate yoga.
Mr. Mayor, what's the rules on adopting koalas here in Tullahoma?
Anybody know the answer to that?
Well, you need a sites. There is a process of getting, approval for importation of.
I'm sure there's quarantine for quite a while.
Mammals or fish or whether there's a sites.
That
may be only botany stuff.
We can adopt one to get the wire out of that tree by KFC.
Yeah. Is it still there?
No, it's down.
Is it down?
Yeah, I pulled it down and it's just laying on the bottom.
Did you pull it down? Is that what
No,
you said?
ma'am, that was not under my purview.
Oh, there was one other thing I was going to say is that it is cold and flu season. Should probably come from
Yes,
you
it
instead
is.
of me, but just to everybody to be careful out there. It is flu B, from what I understand, is just rampant in this area. So I've already had it. It is not fun.
Did you get vaccinated?
And I got vaccinated.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
I vaccinated. It was same strain, but my immune system I'm sure was down with not sleeping. So
Just do fist bumps.
yeah.
Or, you know,
It's honestly because I was the room mom, all those kids.
if you're the room mom, you're going to get the crud from the kids.
Are we ready for you now?
I'm yes, you're ready for me.
Dr. Blanks.
Since last month ago, since we met, TUA met, everything's going well with the electrical system in this city, as well as light tube. We're up plus 18 net for last month. We're up to 3927, so we are about 73 subscribers away from the 4,000 mark, which is wonderful. Duck River is selling water. It's been raining, so Normandy's full. We've had a dry September, but we've caught up since then. That's really all I have. You know, and I'll have to say go LSU and shop Tullahoma. That's all I have.
You're not a fan.
I'm an LSU fan when they're, you know, playing for the national championship and it's the SEC team.
We're going to try to get out of here in the next 2 hours. Hopefully we will.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe 3 hours, I don't know.
Well, if you don't, you'll be.
Think we can do it? I'll be by myself. Miss Dunn.
Well, just to
I'm
kind
sorry,
of,
did you have anything else? You good?
Shop Tullahoma, I'm good.
Good.
just to piggyback off of what Mr. Thomas said, I've been in the fire department too with my kids, and it is really special what we have here. So I appreciate all their time and all that. But I want to tell Tullahoma about a couple of different things that are going on with Go Green. I had the pleasure to talk to Dwayne Estes this week, and he is connected with the Southeastern Grasslands Initiative. And I had no idea that prior to the Civil War, this area was more prairie land than it was really kind of heavy woodland. So he's working out of Austin Peay University to try to kind of restore some of those natural places. I found out that May Prairie, which is kind of close to Hillsboro, and then some of the prairies that are out by AEDC are some of the most pristine grasslands east of the Mississippi River. So we have several endangered species, several endangered plants, and some sparrows that I thought that was very interesting. So I'm looking forward to talking with him some more. And we are getting Earth Day is already just around the corner. And I've talked to Publix, and they were very kind. They have given us some reusable bags to give away at that event. Interlocal Solid Waste Authority is going to be giving away composters and recycling bins. So it'll be a fantastic day. So that'll be in April. We'll get that date will be completely pinned down this week, and then we'll get going on that. And then I am very excited. I've been kind of working. This is like a personal project. So. But we are putting together a TEDx Tullahoma. So I'm very excited. So it's going to be at UTSI. It's going to be April 25th. I've got several exciting speakers lined up. I think this is going to be a really, really fun time. So if you aren't familiar with TED Talks, look them up on YouTube and get an idea of what we're going to be hosting here this spring. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Good. Mr. Norris, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. A busy holiday season for me. Started with of course, the Distant Salvation Army bell ringing. It's always enjoyable to do that. We had the city employee luncheon, as you mentioned. See the singers there. That was a great opportunity. The chamber meeting at Lakewood, that was well attended. Of course, we had a planning commission that Alderman Blackwell has already alluded to. Some items on the agenda for that tonight. The mayor's planning and coordinating meeting, very well attended. Those are very informative, just a matter of fact. And of course, the TAEDC board meeting, attended that. We're planning a study session to work on our strategic plan, to update the strategic plan for TAEDC. That's coming up at the end of this month. So I'm looking forward to helping with that. So the airport board met, And just today, we received a notice that Ms. is aware of, that we did receive a grant from the Tennessee Aeronautics Association for their Economic Development, a grant of $483,000.
Wow.
Quite exciting. Now, we've got to work to tell them how we're going to spend that money. And the way we get that money is as we complete projects and document how we've contributed to economic development, then they fund the work that we've done. So that's some work that we have to do to get that money, but I thought that was pretty exciting.
That is exciting. That is good news. Very good news. Is it just for capital projects or operations, or do you know?
Primarily for doing things for economic development. For instance, just go toward the new airport hangar there we're doing with XP Services, that they're planning to bring in some pretty exciting skill sets to the area that we really don't have currently in town, but it's for economic development, which is near and dear to my heart.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Norris. Mr. Guo, anything that you'd like to report, please, sir?
Not much, but all I have to say is I'd like to thank Mayor Curley and the Board of Mayors for giving us the opportunity to be here and attend this meeting.
Good. Well, you're welcome anytime. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. So I do have some good news to report. I don't know whether to give Winston Brooks attribution or give Steve May, the chair of the Tourism Council, but Tullahoma is on the front page of the Middle Tennessee Regional Edition of the Vacation Guide for Tennessee, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Should I give you attribution for that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Just checking. Not me. Mr. Brooks?
Team effort.
Team effort, there you go. Very good. Okay, we're ready for the city attorney's report. Mr. Worsham, please, sir.
You may recall that several months ago I discussed with you the possibility that the city might acquire some property in downtown Tullahoma as a result of settling some litigation that the city had initiated to require the property owner to bring that property up to codes. We settled that case upon the property owner's agreement to donate that property to the city at no cost to the city. We now have the deed to it. It's been recorded. Ms. Moody is investigating various types of possibilities for the development of that property or the disposition of it. It's the property where Lydia's Dress Shop was once located at 127 West Lincoln Street, across the street from the restaurant known as 122, I believe. Also, used formerly Fast Jack's, that's what most of us call it. And it's a very wonderful opportunity for us to develop something in downtown Tullahoma, either as a partner with others or ourselves, or as to a purchaser of that property for something that'll be of real benefit to our community. Other than that, we've just been working on the routine things with planning and codes, and also working on developing the data we need necessary to move forward with the property tax collections for this year and the eventual delinquent tax property sale that we'll be having later on this year. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Worsham.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Okay, ready for the city administrator's report. Mrs. Moody, please.
Yes, I agree. It's been a very busy month, so I'll just hit some of the highlights. I wanted to share with you, I have been working with Hannah Rogers at MTAS. She's our management consultant with MTAS, and I've been working with her on a couple things. One is that I would like to bring customer service training, and MTAS provides a customized customer service training, and we've been working through what that might look like for our frontline staff, and we'll likely do that in early March. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Hannah Rogers and Alicia Hodge, who is one of the attorneys with MTAS, is looking into our election cycle and some of the specifics of it. And some of it sounds like is refreshing Ms. Rogers' memory, because I believe she'd worked with Jody on this issue in the past. And I've invited her to come to a future board meeting and attend maybe in a study session so we can talk about what some of the options are. I've heard from many of you, And if I understand, it's that there was a plan presented previously that showed a 10-year path to moving the election cycles onto the general election cycle, even years. And that was maybe too long for your taste. So if there's some alternatives to where that can happen a little more quickly, I'm asking them to take a look at that. And then if they would just review our charter and ordinances and make sure that we have authority or whatever the proper steps are to move the school board and the judge's election to coincide with the city elections. So we're moving forward with that. And then we were honored, MTAS worked with Chief Shasteen and also Costa Bryce to bring a training to Tullahoma. So over 3 days, we had 82 attendees at a training on a brand new law, the Barry Brady Act. It's very pertinent to firefighters, but also HR professionals. And so we had a lot of other cities traveling to Tullahoma to attend this training. And it went really well, and I heard all good reports about our facilities and about the training. As you mentioned, we have been working hard on several grant applications. A lot are in the works, and of course, a lot are yet to be announced. But I wanted to mention that. Also, we have an opportunity, Tom Robinson, Winston Brooks, and myself, we are going to travel to Chattanooga this week. We're each taking turns spending time in an exhibit booth at Project Voice. And this is a conference with the likes of Google and Bixby and Alexa, all of these big firms that are working in the field of voice technology, voice recognition systems. And it sounds like it's going to be well attended from not just these very big brand name companies, but lots of small entrepreneurs that are trying to break into this field. And we want to make sure that they know that Tullahoma has fiber to the premise, free Wi-Fi in the downtown, and lots of other reasons that they should move their small business here. So we're excited about that.
I appreciate Ms. Lee bringing that to our attention as well.
Yes, Beverly Lee on the TAEDC board brought that to our attention. And it was in Chattanooga last year, and it will be there next year again. So, and we believe we're the only municipality exhibiting. So we think we have some leverage there. I meant to send this out to you, but I don't think I did yet. The state has released its annual state economic forecast. And what I thought was interesting to share with you about that, you can read the whole report, or you can do like I did and just read the executive summary, which is still about 10 pages. What it showed is they're predicting slow but positive growth for next year. And what I thought would be of particular interest is that it's only 4 chapters. An entire chapter is devoted to talking about the health of Tennessee and how much they believe that negative health is impacting our economic growth as a state. And so I thought that lends well to Mayor Curley's leadership in that area and trying to make sure that we continue to push health and wellness and make this a really active community. So we're trying to turn that tide, continue our growth. And then, as Alderman Berry pointed out, the fire department has presented you with their annual report. If you have any questions, Chief Shasteen is here. But I thought while you have that in front of you, I would just use this as an opportunity to really thank the Chief Shasteen and also the fire department. I think particularly this past year with the vacancy in the chief's position in the police department, I really saw the firefighters step up and be team players and reach out a hand to the police department, maybe in some ways that they have a stronger relationship today than they did in the past. And I really appreciate that teamwork and that leadership from their department. And then Chief Shasteen, I should have given him much more recognition at the time, but during the Veterans Park development, he worked daily with Sandy Sebrin to make sure that that project got done. It was something that I'm not sure many other people would have had the diligence and the patience that he had to make sure that all the details were done correctly. She has a high standard, and he hit it. So thank you so much for that. And then I just wanted to recognize that he's done a lot of work in building up a tremendous training program. And I know that you guys appreciate the value of that and how it keeps our firefighters safe and our community safe. But I wanted to make sure he got recognition for that. Most recently, we graduated, I think, 6 trainees from the hazmat program. So we've doubled the hazmat team's capacity. And he's always encouraging that advanced and specialized training for the firefighters. And then with that, I have one last note. I didn't think about leaving you on a sad note, but I did want to mention to you that we lost one of our school crossing guards last week, Mr. Glenn Staples. He was a crossing guard at Farrer Elementary and passed away on Thursday. So we'll send out, our prayers to his family, and we'll send out the notices of visitation and things like that if you'd like to attend.
Thank you. So has anyone been keeping track of how many times Chief Shastine's name has been mentioned in the past 40 minutes? I'm up to 12.
Do I get to defend that, Mayor?
Yeah, but it's all pretty much good stuff. I'm afraid anything you might say might bring it down. 12 times. Okay. Thank you.
Great team.
I agree. Thank you, Ms. Moody. Okay, we're ready for the consent agenda. We have several items. Item number 20-01, minutes of the December 9th regular meeting. Item 20-02, set a municipal election date for the first Thursday in August 2019, August 1st, 2020, and authorize staff to notify the Coffee County Election Commission office.
That first part should be marked.
2020 and 2020.
Right.
It's always hard that first month.
Okay. 20-03, approve a grant application to the Tennessee Department of Transportation's Community Planning Grant Program for $125,000 to support a study of the Cedar Lane West Side Drive corridor. Item number 20-04, approve participation, authorize the mayor to sign agreements between 2 health and wellness benefit programs in Tullahoma community centers. Number 1, Silver and Fit, formerly Silver Sneakers, for members with Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare supplement plans. Number 2, Healthy Contributions for members with an AARP Medicare supplement plan. So is there a motion to approve the consent?
Move to approve.
Proper motion by Mr. Noes.
Second.
Second by Ms. Blackwell. Yes.
Before we vote, can I put Ms. Moody on the spot real quick just to talk about, for the benefit of anybody watching, number 4? Can you explain a little bit to us in our email what that actually
Yes, best I understand it, that insurance companies offer or partner with various health and wellness programs to incentivize their members to participate in community centers, fitness programs. And we have been a longtime partner with the Silver Sneakers program, and we will continue to do that. But since Blue Cross Blue Shield has decided to move away from that program and transition to Silver and Fit, we need to also partner with Silver and Fit to make sure that those members can still get benefits at our facility. And then individuals with AARP coverage, they participate in a program called Healthy Contributions. So we'll also be joining that program.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good. Did we vote?
No, we did not vote. We do have a motion and a second.
We have a motion and a second on the consent agenda items. All those in favor vote green, opposed vote red. Motion passes 7-0. We have one item of old business. Ordinance number 1531, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee, as set forth in the Tullahoma Municipal Code, which is ordinance number 1392, to rezone 2 parcels addressed as 412 North Jackson Street and 107 West Hogan Street from C1 Central Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District. We earlier had the public hearing on this matter. The Planning Commission has favorably approved it. We approved it at our first, our December meeting, and now the floor is open for a motion to approve on the second and final reading.
Move to approve.
Proper motion by Mr. Noah, seconded by Mr. Berry. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of ordinance number 1531, vote green. Opposed, vote no. Motion passes 7-0. Ms. Moody, any other old business?
No.
We have a couple of items of new business. Agenda item 20-05, approve a downtown resurfacing project with Rogers Group in the amount of $402,405 for improvements to portions of West Grundy, West Lincoln, and Northwest Atlantic Street. Can I hear a yay for that?
Yay.
Yeah.
Motion approved.
Proper motion by Dr. Blanks, second by Mr. Noes. Any discussion?
Yay.
Yay. I know, right?
All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Has everyone voted?
There we go.
Motion passes 7-0. Ms. Moody, that's yours now. Take it and run with it. Ordinance number 1532, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee, as set forth in the Tullahoma Municipal Code, which is ordinance number 1392, to rezone approximately .44 acre parcel located at 509 West Grundy Street from R1 Low Density Residential District to C2 General Commercial District. Adopt on the first of two readings and set a public hearing for Monday, February 10th, 5:30 p.m. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Ms. Blackwell, second by Mr. Noes. Any discussion? We're simply setting the public hearing. Yep. All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Ms. Moody, any other new business?
No.
All right, we will adjourn and go into the beer board portion of the agenda. First is the consent minutes of December 9th beer board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Proper motion by Dr. Blanks.
Second.
Second by Mr. Noes. All those in favor of the consent agenda as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. We have no old business. We have several items of new business. First is item number VB02, beer application on and off premises beer permit for the Wynn Cigar Shop and Lounge located at 110 West Lincoln Street. Scott McCain and wife Wendy McCain will be the managers in charge of beer sales. Now, Ms. Golden, let me just ask you to summarize for us. This organization currently has an on-premise.
That's
Is that
correct.
correct? And they're requesting an off-premise.
On and off, both.
Right.
Yes.
All right, let me look. So the background attached, please find a copy of the beer permit on and off premises application regarding For the Wynn Cigar Shop and Lounge located at 110 West Lincoln Street. This is an existing business since June of 2019 with an on-premise beer permit. They wish to expand their beer permit to both an on and off-premise beer permit. All City of Tullahoma past due license fees, taxes, and garbage bills for the applicants have been paid. Staff recommends approving the on and off beer permit. So let me get a motion. The second, Mr. McCain is in the audience. If there's any questions of him, but let me get a motion in the second.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Blackwell, second by Ms. Berry. Is there any discussion? If you recall, about 6 or 7 months ago, Mr. McCain was here, and we went through all of that. I'll be glad to ask those questions again. There's been no incidents that I'm aware of at his facility.
I'm just curious what we're gonna do with the off-premise. Is it to do growlers or?
Yes, sir, that is the plan to do.
Let me ask you to step to the podium, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for meeting with me. The plan is to actually allow me to offer growlers to the patrons that come to the shop. I utilize Old Shed beer. That's all we have. So Mike's only open on Fridays and Saturdays, and this will allow me to just expand that a little bit further.
And you all understand growlers are.
Somebody
carry-out
drinks beer.
Okay.
It's basically like a gallon jug that they fill it, they seal it, and you can carry it out instead of, because
Effective
craft
heads of
beer
beer.
sells in the jugs instead of, cans or things like that as well, so, yes. So.
Good. Any other questions? Any discussion? Are we ready to vote? All those in favor of issuing the approval, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Okay, this next one is a really exciting one. Item number BB03, beer application on premises beer permit for Tullahoma Bowling Lanes, Inc., located at 900 South Anderson Street. Mr. Eric Eakin and Mrs. Melody Eakin will be the new owners and managers in charge of beer sales. So let me get a motion and a second on the floor first.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Blackwell, second by Mr. Berry. So, again, let me read the attached. Please find a copy of the beer permit on premises application regarding Tullahoma Bowling Lanes located at 900 South Anderson Street. This is an existing business that intends to change hands the week of January the 13th. Mr. Eric Eakin and Mrs. Eakin intend to be the new owners and managers in charge of beer sales. All City of Tullahoma past due license fees, taxes, and garbage bills for the applicants have been paid. Staff recommends approving the beer permit. So the reason this is exciting, here we've got someone that's buying a local business, and I'm proud of this family for doing that. So we have a motion and a second. Mr. Eakin, let me ask you to step to the podium, please, sir. You've been the manager there for?
18 years.
Okay. So you've been involved directly and indirectly, I'm sure, with the sale of beer.
Yes, I've been the general manager for the last 16 and a half or so.
So you know the sale of beer is a very serious responsibility.
Yes, sir.
What do you have in place to assure the community that you will not sell beer to an underage person?
Our staff is trained to check photo IDs of every patron that wishes to purchase alcohol regardless of age. They look like they're 21 or 121. We ask for their ID. We only allow one serving per customer per ID at a time. So if someone comes up and wants to buy 3 or 4, we require them to bring everyone to the counter so we know where those are going.
Very good. Anyone have any questions of Mr. Eakin? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations on you acquiring the business. Have you officially done that yet?
We're just waiting on these last few little things.
Okay, good.
Less than 2 weeks away, probably.
Good. All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, our next item on the beer board agenda is beer application off-premises beer permit for Jong Inc., doing business as Piggly Wiggly, located at 811 East Lincoln Street. Mr. Dong Lee is the new owner and will be the manager in charge of beer sales. So to get started, let's get a motion and a second on the floor, and then I will...
Motion approved.
Motion by Dr. Blanks, seconded by Mr. Berry. Attached, please find a copy of the beer permit off-premises application regarding the Piggly Wiggly grocery store located at 811 East Lincoln Street. This is an existing business whereby their shares of common stock has changed hands, with Mr. Dong Lee now owning 100% of the stock. Mr. Dong Lee intends to be the new owner and manager in charge of beer sales. All City of Tullahoma past due license fees, taxes, and garbage bills for the applicants have been paid. Staff recommends approving the beer permit. Is Mr. Lee here? Okay. Can you step to the podium, please? One or both of you. So first, congratulations on acquiring the business. So have you been involved in this business before on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So you understand the sale of beer is a very serious responsibility. Okay. Have you received a copy of the beer laws of Tullahoma?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions at this time regarding the sale of beer? Okay. What do you have in place at your business to assure the community that you will not sell beer to an underage person?
Can you tell me?
Sure. What procedures do you have in place that you will not sell beer to an underage person?
21.
21.
Right. Do you have a point of sale system? Do you check IDs?
We had a point of system in the store.
Okay.
So whatever we put it in the data of birth, it's approved or not approved.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So we don't have to, we have to check the ID and then key in the date of birth in
Okay,
the system.
all right. Now, has your staff attended the, what's it called?
Responsible vendor.
Responsible vendor. Are you familiar with that program?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Have your staff attended that program, been involved in that? No. But I would encourage you to do so, okay? Mrs. Golden, to my right, can give you the contact information to take those classes. So do you agree? Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions? So I do know in years past, some of you will remember, there were some incidents regarding the sale of beer at Piggly Wiggly. But now, that's been years ago. We have new owners now. So, Ms. Golden, does that start over?
He had a business in Winchester.
Okay.
12 years. He don't have any problems.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they sent it to the minor, tried to buy the beer, but we don't have any problems.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the last month they sent it to us, but we still have.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't have any problem. And,
good.
you know, we could educate the employee, do not sell the beer underage, make sure check the ID.
Good. Yes, I'm not aware of any instances lately, so good.
They did, the Piggly Wiggly did have someone come, but it's been several years ago to teach them.
Okay.
And I think it's like good for 3 years.
Okay, all right,
But
good.
they have been there to teach
Yeah,
you
the
guys.
experience, I mean, the one cashier twice sailed on the minor, so she's not there anymore.
Okay. Very good. So we have a motion and a second. Any other conversation, discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the application as presented, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations.
Thank
And also
you.
congratulations on acquiring the business.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, our next item is item number BB05, beer application special event permit nonprofit for the Hands-On Science Center Family Fun Day and Evening Social on Saturday, February 29th. Mr. Sean Amadon will be the manager in charge of beer sales for the special event. And if the board would consider waiving the special event permit fee. And
Motion to approve.
the recommendation is to approve the beer permit and waive the special event permit fee.
Yes.
You accept that?
I do.
Okay, have a motion by Dr. Blank, seconded by Ms. Blackwell. Any discussion?
It's on the 29th. That's exciting.
I know.
Yeah.
We have that this year.
Yeah. All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. Our last item, beer application special event permit nonprofit for the Tullahoma Sports Council Hall of Fame Awards Banquet on Saturday, February 22nd, 2020 at DW Wilson Community Center. Mr. Jim Bratcher will be the manager in charge of beer sales for the special event. Consider waiving, once again, the special event beer permit fee. So the floor is open for a motion. Motion by Mr. Alderman Berry, seconded by Mr. Noes. Any discussion? All those in favor of the application as presented, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. So, no other beer board business? If no objection, we will adjourn. And let me, we'll go through this as quickly or not as you want, but, and we can even defer if you prefer to a future meeting when we did not have as much on the agenda. But I wanted to, you know, every Thursday morning I meet with the city administrator and we discuss some city government issues, we discuss community projects issues, and I've been doing this for 17 and a half years now. And I've never presented anything quite like this before, but I want to give each of you the opportunity, to the extent that you want, to get involved in some of these community-oriented projects. So, do you want to review these this evening? Do any of you have an interest in pursuing these? Mr. Noes?
Mayor, I'd move to move these to a later date. Give us time to, there's
Okay, that's
25
fine.
items on here. Let us have time to do that a little more systematic. We got these just last week. If we could defer this to maybe a shorter meeting when we're not having the ball game starting at 7 o'clock.
Okay, I understand.
I would like to, I've reviewed some of these, there's 3 down here that I'm interested in, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and peg.
Yeah, there's some I want
Are you
to.
calling dibs right now?
I'm calling dibs right now. 9, 10, and 12.
Wait a minute, hold on, Jimmy.
Oh, man, I wanted 10.
Well, we may have to work in tandem.
That sounds good to
Well,
me.
So, although we're not in formal session, the motion is that we defer, that you suggest we defer this until later time.
Well, I certainly don't want to interfere with someone getting
It's not
what
like
they
I'm
want
gonna
to
go
do.
out- I'm not
You
gonna
can
go out
go to
and do
work on
these
tonight
tonight.
if you'd like. It'll be fine.
No, I'm fine with that. Does everyone have a copy of this?
Got 2
So
copies.
I encourage you to take that with you at a future meeting. We'll deal with these, okay?
I sent an email already. It's like, I want these.
Okay, so we're all gonna make it to the ball game in time.
Yay.
For the business, we are adjourned. Thank you, Mayor.
10:16.
Well, Mary, can I ask you about a couple of them?
Okay.